and glad you are back with us here on ColumbusNewsTeam.com as we're just about ready to kick things off for the second quarter between the Lakeview Vikings and the Wayne Blue Devils. 16-14 is the score. Lakeview, the home team, leading the Blue Devils on homecoming night, and they will kick to Wayne to start things off here.
Nice job by the up front wedge defenders. Now the wedge not legal. You can see those players kind of spread out there in that front, in front of that return. But nice job by them to set up the blocks, and then appeared 31 Josh Rodriguez kind of coming back and getting in on the tackle, and 13 Tate Jansen down on the ground right now. Looks like he's kind of stretching out his hip. He's doesn't appear to be in too much pain, but maybe a pull of some sort. His trainer Mike Sloop will get out there, and Mike been around the area for quite some time. Very good guy, does a very good job with these high school kids. And Tate Jansen gonna walk off under his own power there. Looks like maybe an ankle injury of some sort, or potentially some kind of groin pull.
Jansen, a vital player for this Viking team. Hopefully Kurt Frenzen and company hoping it's just a minor muscle pull. He'll get addressed here on the sideline, and we'll keep our eyes on him as the rest of this game goes on. Handoff up the middle, but play blown dead.
This one will be called back against Wayne. They're going to move this one back about 5 yards and try this first down over again.
Pitch goes to Pacina, who has not a lot of room to run. Maybe gets a gain of 1.
And Trey Shanks getting in the backfield, shedding the blocker there and able to kind of get in there from behind on the tackle as Pacina tried to cut up there. You can see Davies coming to that outside there, trying to open up that sweep. Nice job of the Lakeview defense to get downhill and make the stop.
Bowers drops back to pass, throws it across the middle, interception for the Vikings. And still going with room to run, the Lakeview Vikings get down near the 30-yard line. Great pick by Trent Roth, who's done so much on the offensive end already, shows he has the defensive skills as well.
And I think that actually might have been Nicholas Dolezal on the interception, but very two similar looking players, and kind of hard to see as they come through it. It was so quick, it's kind of hard to tell, but I think Dolezal will give him credit for that one, but nice job.
Definitely give credit where it's due. Dylan Johnson rolling out to the right. He has a receiver, a battle for it, and the Lakeview Vikings player comes down with it. No mistake there. That is number 5. No, Grant, what is it? I need my binoculars right now.
I think I need some glasses too, but that was number 9, Dakota Prorock, going up on the big-time corner route and bringing that one down on the 1-yard line. You can see him kind of just holding the ball up in the air just to say, hey, I got this. This is us right here. We're going for 6 more.
And the Vikings offense just showing how quick they can strike. They did it at the end of that first half, where they connect with Trent Roth, and now on the 1-yard line after that Prorock connection. Handoff up the middle, and Roth is stuffed at the line.
And it looked like they tried running a little ISO there to the right side, but unable to get through as Roth's kind of just stuffed into the backfield, and looks like it won't move too much. It'll be a gain of 0, I think, officially.
And quarterback push right up the middle. Dylan Johnson gets it in from a yard out. 6 more points for the Vikings, 22-14.
And credit that O-line, Derek Smith, Caleb Frinzen, Cole Tessendorf, Connor Wordham, and all those guys up front for getting that push and getting that one in the end zone.
The extra point is tacked on, 23-14. The Vikings come out of the gates charging this second half. 9-point lead on homecoming night.
A much quicker start than we saw here at the beginning of the game when it looked like Wayne High was kind of just dominating in every aspect, but Lakeview taking the lead right before the end of the half and then coming out with some fire as they go up and continue to improve on this lead. And we'll see Tate Jansen here to kick for the Vikings. And I believe that's 15 Mason Lee back to return alongside number 7 Ryan Jackson. And Jansen set to kick away.
(23-14), 10-16 to go in the third quarter. Vikings strike first in the second half. Return now by Wayne, who gets tackled right at the 23-yard line.
And Jackson, not much room to run, with Trey Shanks coming down like a bullet and making contact there at about the 22, 21-yard line. They are going to mark this one at the 22. Great job by that Lakeview kickoff team to get downfield and cover that one up before it could start.
Blue Devils will start from their own 22. Handoff up the middle. Short gain on the play, carried by Drew Davey.
Davey able to crease right between that center and guard there and get upfield for about 4 yards, looking at about a 2nd and 6.
Short gain, if any, there by the Blue Devils. Vikings stopping him.
Davey again just off the outside, bounces it around that guard and that tackle for about a yard gain. Nice job by that left side Vikings defense to contain and also fill gaps.
So 3rd and 5 now. Bowers drops back, throws to the right, can't connect. Punting situation.
No flags on the play. Wasn't sure if they slipped there on the outside, but they will be punting away, I would imagine. And we'll see as it looks like number 14, Drew Shad, number 19, Chase Lemberg go back to return this one, lining up at about the 40-yard line.
Punt to the Vikings and nowhere to go. Tackled right at the 34. Net gain of 0.
And Lemberg, no room to run there as Pacina got downfield and wrapped him up almost immediately. Pacina very agile, as we've already seen offensively in this game. Doing a good job of getting around the defenders and getting downfield. not leaving Lindbergh much room to do anything at all.
Lakeview will start from their 33, 8:54 remaining in the third. Shanks and Roth in the backfield. Handoff goes to Roth, who doesn't have a whole lot.
Nice fake carry out there by Dylan Johnson, but to no avail, as they will lose about 2 yards on that play.
That's a good word choice.
Actually, hey, I like to mix it up a little bit. I'm trying to increase my vocabulary daily, and avail, I guess, is the word of the day.
Well, it is your birthday.
And hey.
You're getting older and more intelligent. Dylan Johnson also might as well be his birthday. Gain of 15 right there. Gives his team a present.
And showing off his intelligence there as he works through that defense and kind of evades a couple defenders as he tucks that one up just outside of the tackle to go upfield. And Dylan Johnson with the birthday present for himself there, as you might say, as he moves forward for about 15 yards.
Johnson nearing the century mark on running for the game. No surprise there. He went for 111 last week against Kearney Catholic. Hands the ball up to Shanks, who has room to run. Bounces to the outside and close to and maybe another first down.
Nice job there by Caleb Franzen to move downfield, blocking and work his way upfield, opening that up for Trey Shanks. Shanks just kind of followed him downfield until he was able to break that one off and get into first down territory. Take a look at this one again. You can see Trey coming around on that right side as he just follows Franzen upfield, and he's going to tiptoe that sideline a little bit there at the end. And they are going to move that one forward for a first down.
And up to Roth. He's going around the left and cuts it up the middle. He's not going to be caught here. 42 yards out. Touchdown Vikings, 29-14.
Fantastic job on that play to work across field and just cut straight up. The defenders move back against that motion, and he was able, those defenders, as they're moving to the right side of the field, Roth's able to cut back very sharply in full sprint fashion. Gets 49 yards downfield and increases this lead to at least 2 scores. They go up 29-14, potentially 30-14.
Trent Roth also went over 100 yards last game. And extra point is up and good. He went for 42 right there.
And take a look at that one again. You see Roth coming across that left side. You can see these defenders moving to the right as well. They're right. And Roth just cuts that baby back open, finds a hole, and then he's just sprint, open grass all the way downfield as he just gallops into the end zone for 6. Roth making a case himself for a potential century game, as he marks up quite a few right there. Tate Jansen again will sit back to kick this one away after the successful PAT. And again, we're going to see Mason Lee and Ryan Jackson back on the return.
What a way to start the second half, Grant. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns for the Vikings, and just like that, they're up 16 on homecoming.
Excuse me, I think that's Peyton Gamble back to return, but yeah, just a fantastic job by Lakeview to come out of this half and strike right away.
And speaking of striking, Wayne on special teams, going down the 30-25 and ushered out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Great run by Peyton Gamble, the receiver, showing he has return skills as well. And how about that for an answer?
I'm glad I got that name right before he was able to take that one back for essentially 80 yards. But a fantastic job by Gamble on that right side to follow his blockers, find that hole, and just burst out, show off a little bit of that speed as he gets downfield. And man, you talk about answer. You are right on the money with that one. They are sitting at about the 15-yard line here.
Little run up the middle for the Blue Devils. Gain of 4.
Tyler Pacina on that one, getting upfield. Great job following his blockers, but brought down just 4 yards later. And the Blue Devils, with potentially 6 downs here to get into the end zone. 7.
There goes Pacina trying to get around that left side. Good job by the Vikings defense. In on the tackle there is Jordan Jansen.
Jansen, very nice defensive game as well at the middle linebacker position, captaining this offense. Jansen, a very good job, very active linebacker as he's able to get kind of all over the field. He does a great job of filling gaps and being aware of what's going on the field.
Brings up 3rd and 5. Bowers rolling to the right. He has pressure coming in. Hits his receiver. That's a first down. Blue Devils still going. Touchdown. Wayne, 3 plays after the big kickoff return. And just like that, 6 points for them.
And that was number 38, Drew Davey on the touchdown, I believe. Fantastic job by the fullback to get out in open space and kind of just barrel forwards out of that right side and chop this lead down to 10 and about 9 if they make this PAT.
Interesting, Grant. Appears they're not going to go for 2 to try to cut it to a 1-possession game. And they do kick the extra point, and it is good. So 9-point ball game, 30-21.
Yeah, working with a whole quarter left and just 6:30 still in this third. You have plenty of time to get downfield, and I think it just kind of shows the trust Coach Bear has in his Blue Devils offense and defense to make sure they get some stops here moving into these last parts of the game.
So the offense has come out in this second half here at Lakeview Field. 3 touchdowns already and not even 6 minutes of play in this third quarter.
Yeah, very exciting half so far as offense is concerned, and Wayne able to capitalize on that long kickoff return by number 5, Peyton Gamble. And Drew Davies able to cap that one off with a touchdown.
So 6.5 to go in the third. And we'll see what the Vikings can conjure up on their third offensive possession of this half. They're shooting 100%, we should say. They're opening 2 possessions with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, great job so far by, Blue Devils were stopped there after that first one and come off an interception by Lakeview, and Lakeview able to just capitalize twice, but the Blue Devils showing they still got a little fire in them here, even though we are very early into this third quarter.
And Trent Roth, the man with it, gets taken down near the 36.
The Vikings doing a good job so far of adjusting to that 5-front defense by the Blue Devils with Jason Davis in that head-up position.
Roth with it now, cuts it up again. Very similar look to that touchdown run, but nothing there on that occasion.
Yeah, the Wayne defense doing a nice job on that play of maintaining their coverage points and getting in on a tackle.
Dylan Johnson's going to keep it after a long delay, trying to find Austin Foltz, but not too close.
A nice job on coverage by those Wayne defenders. Deep there in the backfield is some of those Lakeview guys got pretty far downfield by the time that play was eventually over. And Dylan Johnson, you only got so much time in the pocket before it is eventually going to break down and those defenders are going to get you. He just kind of tosses that one away.
It's a 3rd and 8. Roth goes in motion. Johnson fakes the handoff on the jet sweep. Roth rolling out. Pressure by the Blue Devils, and he is gobbled up by Schwiemer.
And a nice little spin move there by Johnson to stay up on his feet for about 2 extra seconds, but he was brought down there. And it is starting to rain a little bit, I see. Definitely could make things interesting here as we move into this 3rd quarter.
Low punt by the Vikings. Fielded near the 35. Still up on his feet. Not going to have much of those, Ryan Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson, good job. Jackson, very talented receiver there and returner as he's able to stand on his feet a little bit longer, but take those down.
The rain coming down now.
Hey, Chris.
For Friday Night Lights here
covered up pretty good
at Lakeview. 4:59 to go.
Stay up for a little bit.
And off up the middle. Gain of 4. So 2nd and 6 upcoming after that run by the Blue Devils.
Nice job by the Lakeview defense to get a stop there. Wayne able to move forward, looking at about a 3rd and 6 here as they move forward. And this could get a little interesting because offense has kind of been the heavy portion for both of these teams. Defense doing some good things, but Wayne having some success on the passing game. I wonder if we'll see a little cutback in those bubble screens here. We haven't seen too much of it so far this half, but we haven't really got to see too much Wayne offense this half.
We'll see it right here on 3rd and 5. Bowers airing it across the middle. Nobody home. Interception by Jansen. Big blocks there on the return. A flag's going to be thrown, but a Blue Devil got cleaned up on that one, I believe.
Trey Shanks with the big
hit there.
Yeah, he came across that field and got in on a big block. I'm not sure what they're going to call there. I don't think that was helmet-to-helmet contact, but we'll see as we do have a Wayne defender down on the ground. I believe it was numbers. It looks like number 67 potentially. 64 maybe.
And it's against Wayne.
That was number 63, Mikey Rees, down on the ground there. He is able to walk off under his own ability, so hopefully he is okay. Maybe just a little bit shaken up. But Lakeview a big break here as they move forward again with an interception and then the additional penalty.
And Jansen with the INT, he went off the field earlier in this contest under his own power, but good to see that he's back out there and making plays. Appears not to be too affected by his minor injury he had. And the personal foul, actually referees changed their mind and point towards the Vikings, so it did go against Lakeview. They're going to march it 15 yards back. I know, Grant, I've been watching some NFL games, and sometimes they'll call that a necessary roughness, but I don't know. You be the judge, I guess. You're a football player. You played D2. What are your thoughts?
It's always kind of a fine line, whether a person is going out of bounds or if a person's coming in, And once you get to the college level, people, get kind of angry when you call the unnecessary roughness, unless it's kind of the spearing type thing, because everybody, for the most part, agrees they're signing up for football action. But at the high school level, I think you do need to be a little bit more cautious of what you let kids get away with.
Saw Trey Shanks on the carry there. Picks up 6 for a 2nd and 4. 3:25 to go in this third quarter as the rain is coming down. And off again to Shanks, and a lot of room to run this second half for the Vikings. That offensive line really paving the way.
Rain lighting up a little bit, but still continuing to come down, and still going to make things a little more difficult, and it is picking up a little bit again, but no matter how much water's coming down, when that football gets wet, it does make things difficult offensively.
And off again to Shanks. They're going to stick to the ground and pound.
And so far, I love the reference. That's exactly ground and pound is what Lakeview does, and that's what they're good at. And
rains get me fired up, Grant.
Hey, I know you love rain, man. I love rain too. Rain's good. Rain games are fun, as long as it's not too chilly out. It makes things a little interesting.
The farmers love the rain. Everyone loves the rain. We're out kind of in the northern Columbus where there's a lot of cropland, so everybody's happy. I feel like, I guess, is what the point I'm trying to make.
Rain makes corn, and corn makes what everybody else likes. So I think you guys can finish that one yourself. But basically, we like rain.
You like rain? Wayne likes to run, or Lakeview, excuse me. Short gain, but they'll be happy with that one. 3 yards there.
He was able to move that one forward a little bit. Just under 2 minutes, 154 and counting down as we move forward and closer to this fourth quarter. And Lakeview moving forward downfield as they try to score here before break.
Dylan Johnson looking back to the sideline for the play call. Trips to the right, twins to the left. Johnson flushed out of the pocket. He's still up. He's still going. And good job by Johnson to get back to the initial line of scrimmage. He was cleaned up there on the play by Drew Davey.
And number 74, Lathan Ellis, just unable to get enough of Dylan Johnson in the backfield there, as he did make his way in there a little bit. Fourth and they're going to Wayne Blue Devils with the timeout here. 4th and 7 for these Vikings, as they were prepared to go for it there. So let's see what they do after a quick timeout, and Wayne will look to readjust.
Grant, not only this third quarter, but also the first quarter, and just to get crazy, we'll say the second quarter as well, brought to you by Bo's West. You can stop by there after the game to get the best burgers in Columbus, which I did last Friday, and I can vouch that they are the best in Columbus.
They are extremely delicious, and if you haven't been to Bo's West, make sure you get out there. If you're watching from out of town, then make sure you check out Bo's West. If you do get a chance to come to Columbus, maybe your family members, well, you better let them know Bo's West is a place you want to check out, because I can as well about the burgers there are just, they do a fantastic job. They cook out of that truck there right at the side, great outdoor environment, and just a fantastic place to just kind of hang out, watch some sports, eat, and get some good drinks.
You'll have to hurry. I found out last Friday for the first time, the truck closes at 11. I got there at 11:01. The cooks were nice enough to make me a burger anyway. I had a bacon cheeseburger, but I also threw on some hard fried jalapenos, I guess you'd call them. I wanted to run spicy kick. So that was good, I guess. Flag on the play, though.
I think this one will be against Wayne. I will vouch that spicy kick is quite delicious. I've had it myself. And Lakeview with a little spicy kick here, as they might be getting the ball. That's moved a little bit back deeper into Wayne High School territory as their defense takes the field.
Instant replay, also something we do, Grant. Those instant replays brought to you by Bill's Tire, the instant replay that you know and love at your home. And you can see Bill's Tire for tire service and a lot more.
Bill's Tire. All the guys over at Bill's Tire, they do a great job. I probably do here. We talk about this every week. I gotta get those combine tires put on my Monte Carlo, and we're probably in the right section of town for what to happen is we're in farm territory out here too.
Right.
But love coming out to this Lakeview field. Great place to broadcast. A really cool field to come out and kind of just watch some football action.
Back to the football action. The Blue Devils get a short gain there. Officially marked off as 2 yards.
Clock going to continue to run down here. They're going to have to run one more play before they decide to switch ways. Rain continuing to fall. Not very heavy, but it is pretty consistent. Just enough to keep that field wet and get that ball a little bit slick.
Another short gain on the carry. Both teams sticking more to the ground now, as you might expect because of the weather temperament.
And Bo Bowers there on the carry, actually, with the quarterback sneak. Nice job by that O-line. And Cole Keena, Skylar Schweers, Mikey Rees, who went off a little bit earlier, Jason Davis, and Lathan Ellis to get forward there and get some push. They're going to measure this one. And short, not quite enough. But still a very effective quarterback sneak, a play that usually gets about 1, maybe 2 or 3 yards, moves forward for about 8. Maybe 4th and 1 here.
17.7 seconds to go in the third.
3rd and 1, excuse me.
3rd and 1 from the 16. And about the same play, quarterback sneak, but the Blue Devils get it this time.
Cole Kenya there pushing downfield. He saw him break into the next level there. Nice job by that O-line to move that forward on that second quarterback sneak attempt. We'll see if they run one more play here, but we are just seconds away from this quarter break.
And we'll see, they may just run it out. And it looks like that's what they will do as we're at 7 seconds and counting. That will do things for this third quarter. It was a high-scoring one. 30-21 is the score. Lakeview leads Wayne. We'll be back with the final 12 minutes right after this.
And the big interception by number 19, Chase Limburg, as he just snags that one as he's falling out of bounds. And Lakeview comes into this fourth quarter with a big play as they're already in Wayne territory now after that great defensive play by Limburg.
And that is exactly what you want if you're Coach Kurt Frenzen and company. Multiple interceptions on the night for Lakeview, and they give themselves a short field. So 1st and 10 now for the Vikings as they look to put this thing away. Pass intended for Trent Roth, no catch.
And that was Pacina there breaking that one up as he made contact with Roth right about as the ball got there. Nice job by Pacina to kind of break that one up. Roth really hard time getting that. His ball was just a little bit out of reach.
Brings up 2nd and 10 now. Johnson rolls out again. He has room. He may run, and he will. Fakes out Davey. Gets close to another first down.
Trey Shanks doing a little downfield blocking there as his quarterback heads forward and just short of the first down. We're going to see a flag here on the play. This one's going to be against Lakeview as they had a 3rd and 1 attempt. Is going to be now about a 3rd and 6.
So 3rd and 6, as you said, from the 27, 11:15 to go. 9-point lead currently for the Vikings. Johnson rolling out to the near side this time. Again looks to lower his shoulder. That Wayne pursuit really not giving him anything. Fans wanting a late hit. It's a tough call there, though. He's helped up by the Blue Devils, and no harm, no foul.
And I think the Vikings fans were oohing more there at the sound it made when Dylan Johnson came down. He was being brought down as they were going to the outside, and of course these slippery conditions as this rain lightens up a little bit now moving forward.
Officials are going to measure to see if it's a first down. If not, it will bring up a 4th and short.
It is going to be 4th and short here, as it looks like it's just about a yard behind that first down marker.
And offsides, it appears, by the Vikings, or false start, excuse me. Vikings trying to draw the Blue Devils offside, but got caught by their own trap.
Yeah, unfortunate scenario for the Vikings here is we'll see if they are going to go for this one again. They are in they are in kicking range for Tate Jansen here, who's made a 37-yarder.
Appears they're going to go for it. And before they do, a timeout is taken by Coach Friends, and he wants to talk this thing over. 11:08 to go. Grant, what do you say here? What do you do? What do you think Kurt Friends is saying?
You know, I'm very curious to see what kind of play they come out with. We've seen them run a couple of those essentially tight end streaks. The tight end's been lined up out in a receiver set, but kind of some tight end streaks down the field. Short, but enough to get 6 or 7 yards. So I'll be curious to see if that's the situation we get, or if we get another situation where Dylan Johnson breaks out in the pocket and tries to do it himself. That is assuming they still go for this. I mean, I wouldn't be too far against kicking it either. I guess it's up to Frenzen gets to see Jansen's leg on a daily basis, but he has a long of 37 yards. This would be just outside of that range, I believe.
We'll see what they draw up here. It's a
right at
crucial
about 30.
situation.
Yeah, right about 37 actually.
Ball officially on the 27. It appears they're not the special teams type right now. They're lining up in an offensive formation. So here we go, 4th and 6 from the 27 for the Vikings. Roth in motion, fakes the handoff. Johnson rolling out pressure, looking for his big target, cannot connect with Austin Fulton. The defense of the Blue Devils holds.
I believe that was Cole Keenan there in the back. There in the backfield. Them or Skylar Schweers, but in the backfield almost instantly, and not giving Dylan Johnson any time to set up for any kind of deep pass play. He kind of throws off his back foot there to the outside, and a lot of quarterbacks, you see that back foot throw, it's not going to be a very accurate one at that.
So 11:02, the Blue Devils looking to cut into this 9-point lead that the Vikings currently have. Hand off right up the middle. Vikings defense doesn't allow for a gain of much.
Horde of defenders in there on that tackle ran essentially kind of a power play there up the middle. The likes of Austin Fultz and company in there.
And off again, this time to Pacina. Gets a gain of 3.
Saw number 50, Noah Duncan, down there for a little bit. Looked like he was on his back. Thought he might have been hurt, but he gets up and he's just fine. Wayne potentially with a short pass play or a quick run.
And they go with that run, and a big push by that offensive line gets him a first down.
3 times this quarter at the end of the third quarter and the beginning of this quarter, we've seen that QB sneak run, and every time for at least 4 to 8 yards. Lakeview having trouble stopping that offensive line of Wayne High School up front. The Blue Devils doing a good job of getting pushed and allowing Bo Bowers to continue to get first downs.
Ball now on the 49-43 to go. Hand off again up the middle, and not a lot there.
Power action to the left. It kind of bounced outside there, but like you said, not much room to run. This clock's starting to count down a little bit faster here as they keep the ball in the ground. 9:20 to go and counting.
So 2nd and 9 now. Bowers rolling out to the right. He has a lot of room. There's a flag thrown. Think it's going to be a hold as the sophomore quarterback lowers his shoulder. And another flag. I believe that's going to be called on Trey Shanks. And Kurt Frenzen and the coaches on the sideline cannot believe it.
Yeah, you can't be happy with that. They are going to call personal fouls both ways, and those are going to offset each other. Drew Davey on that play was actually the lead blocker, the fullback coming around the right side there, making way for Bo Bowers to get upfield, and I think that one's going to... I got to bring this back and reset this one.
So a little bit of a break then for Wayne, who would have been going 10 yards back with the hold. It gets offset. And still 2nd and 9 as they replay the down. Pressure again. Bowers gets hit. Ball nearly popped out, I thought, for a second, but he had nowhere to go as 3 Lakeview defenders came crashing in from every side.
Yeah, he got out for a little bit, but Zach Kobza eventually getting in there and kind of beating the chest afterwards, but he's able to throw Bowers down, and this one looks like it's going to move back on Wayne High School as well. We'll see what the call. They're going to decline that one. It's going to move to a 3rd and 15, essentially. It would have been about a 2nd and 25, but Lakeview to decline that one and take the chance that they're going to get a stop here.
Bowers drops back again, has pressure, steps up into the pocket. He's going to run and wrapped up and thrown to the ground after a short gain.
Noah Duncan there on the tackle, and about a 5 to 6 yard gain there. It's going to be 4th and about 8 as they kind of readjust that sideline marker, and curious to see what they come out in. They are going to get back to punt there as number 4, Grayson McBride, looks to kick this one away. But you got to be thinking Lakeview is going to try and be aware of potential fakes with 8 minutes left in this game.
So here comes the punt. It's a low one. Fielded near the 15, but it's muffed. And Lakeview escapes a potential crisis as it goes out of bounds.
And I believe that was number 19, Chase Lemberg, who, for his own sake, is probably thankful he got back on top of that one. Otherwise, that would have been fantastic field position and a big momentum shifter for these Blue Devils. but Lakeview will retain that possession of the ball, and Dylan Johnson will look to make another move downfield.
Vikings will start from their own 23. Johnson's going to keep it himself. Another short gain. Grant, after that high-scoring third quarter, things have definitely slowed down here in the fourth.
Yeah, the Lakeview defense doing a really good job of holding Wayne high on that run. Wayne has not really passed as much this fourth quarter. We do see a guy down on the field here. Hopefully everything's okay. He is laying down to see Mike Slopes kind of talking to him. I'll take a quick water break here, but as we were talking about, Wayne Hyde's not really able to get anything going in this fourth quarter as far as the run goes, and Lakeview doing a nice job on the opposite end running the ball and holding Wayne's offense.
He does get up under his own power, appears to be okay, and we can now see who he is. That's Lathan Ellis, the junior.
Looks like he's a right end. He was sitting down there for a little bit, not moving, but they kind of tell you that if you're hurt, you need to just stay down, stay on the ground. Don't make potentially things worse than they already are.
So now 2nd and 4 from the 29-yard line, 7:53 to go. Vikings looking to eat up this clock and hold on to this 9-point lead. Johnson on the option. Goes back across the middle, does get enough for a first down, gain of 7.
Great job by the offensive line to open that up, but even better job by Johnson to cut that one back against the grain and break a couple tackles as they move forward for the first down. Johnson moving closer and closer, as you said, to that century mark, as if he hasn't potentially passed that one already, he's having a great game so far.
So now ball on the 36, clock still moving, 7:30 now. Hand off this time to Roth. He has some blockers on the outside, cuts it back up, and a gain of 15, another first down. Roth is having himself a game.
Yeah, I was just going to say, talking about games, Roth, we saw him bust that really long run there in the first half. And a great job of getting about 15 yards there and moving those sticks forward.
Jorge Vergara, a little bit shaken up on the play for the Blue Devils. He goes out, appeared maybe had a little hand injury.
A lot of minor injuries today so far. It seems like players are just kind of taking some bumps and bruises, which is known to happen in football, but hopefully everybody kind of comes out of this game and is able to heal up all right.
Doesn't appear like we've seen many cramps, which is not the case those first 2 weeks for injuries. We called some games where the cramps in the legs were coming out like crazy. Of course, you'd expect that now a month into the football season. Players are getting their conditioning as Johnson pounds forward for close to another first down.
Yeah, Dylan Johnson there, a great job on the double fake as Trent Roth kind of came back across the formation, and Trey Shanks carried out that fake upfield as well. And the Vikings offense looking very smooth so far on this drive as they continue to move forward downfield and closer to a potentially big-time score.
The other minutes come off the clock. 6:30 now. 2nd and 2 from the 42. Roth in motion. Ball goes to Roth on the jet sweep. Again, he gets around the outside, has some room to run, and another big gain as he gets down near the 25.
Roth just continually adding up the yards as he follows right off his defender's back. Fantastic job there. Good job by the receiver there to block downfield and open things up as Roth makes his way for another about 15-yard gain, and they're just on the fringe of red zone territory with almost 6 minutes and counting left in this fourth quarter.
So exactly what you want if you're the Vikings. A good drive that takes up time to end this thing. Ball's handed off to Shanks up the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, if you're Frenzen, you got to be extremely happy with how your line's playing right now. Line was always going to be a very big key to this game. It was a kind of a battle in the trenches, but this Lakeview line on this drive, you know, can't credit those guys enough. Frenzen, Zimba, Tessendorf, Werdeman, Kobza, Smith, all those guys just doing a fantastic job of moving that ball and making it easy for these Lakeview runners to get downfield.
Now under 5:30 to go. And another carry to the left side. There is laundry on the field. That's Trent Roth, tackled near the 10. We'll see if this one's coming back.
Not sure if they're going to call a hold there. We did see a nice kick-out block by Shank. They are going to call a hold on that backfield, I think. Might have been on Shanks. We'd have to take a look at that one again, but they are going to move this one back, so they're going to be looking at about a second and potentially 13 to go. Second and 12 even. Outside of the hold, though, very well executed play as Roth was able to get pretty far downfield.
So they're going to march it off 10. 5:19 to go. Ball now on the 34, which brings up a 2nd and 19 situation. We'll see what the Vikings do here. Shanks the lone back. Fakes the handoff to Roth. Blue Devils not fooled, and dangerous throw there by Johnson. And another flag as a Lakeview player gets up off the ground.
And I don't know if we're going to see maybe an unsportsmanlike conduct or a late hit type penalty here on the Blue Devils. They are going to call a pass interference play. Potentially a big break here for the Lakeview Vikings. And Dylan Johnson just kind of throwing up a prayer there. You know, if you're Coach Frenzen, you want to tell Johnson, you know, he got lucky on that play, but that's one of those plays where you kind of just have to take the sack and, you know, come out. And it's going to be a 3rd and long, but at least you have the ball still. But Vikings getting lucky there as they move forward from a 2nd and 8 back to a 2nd and 19. Or excuse me, 2nd and 9 back to a 2nd and 19, all the way up to about a 2nd and 4.
Sweep goes to Roth. He brings it around the near side, gets tackled near the 10. Enough for a 1st down, and clock is at 5:08.
These Lakeview backs doing a fantastic job of carrying out these fakes and making it hard for these Wayne linebackers to kind of fill holes in the correct space. Dylan Johnson, for a sec, looked like he might have been carrying the ball to the right side, but like you said, Roth was able to get to the left side there and follow his guard and get upfield for a 1st down.
If you're Wayne, the goal right now has got to be, obviously, you want a turnover, but if you're going to give up a score, you want it to be a field goal. Dylan Johnson, though, may have other ideas as he pounds it up the middle, and touchdown, Vikings. That should seal things, Grant. 36-21.
And I think we saw that triple fake play essentially maybe 7 times as they moved downfield there, and they just continued to execute as Dylan Johnson makes the hard run right up the middle on the fake to Roth, and now the Lakeview Vikings take a 15-point lead, look to make this 16 points, and the Wayne High Blue Devils a tall order going into the end of this 4th quarter and the end of this game.
Dylan Johnson, as the extra point is missed, showing why Coach Frenzen believes he could be the first Lakeview quarterback in the history of the school to rush and pass for 1,000 yards. As a quarterback in one season, he's definitely just demonstrating he can do both here tonight for us.
And a great job by Johnson there to follow his block. That hole just opened up beautifully right in that left side A gap, and he went downfield and got that touchdown. Like you said, he absolutely has the ability to be a one-of-a-kind quarterback from this Lakeview offense. Kurt Frenzen does a good job of designing this offense around the talent that he has. As we talked about, they had a little slow start as they faced a couple really good teams, but were able to finally get a victory over Kearney Catholic after a tough loss to Boone Central in Week 2. And now looking with a 15-point lead here to try and take a win home against the the Wayne High Blue Devils. Wayne High was looking for their second win as well, but maybe dropping to 1-3.
We talked about how important this game would be, Grant, for either of these teams, both in similar situations, wanting to get back to 500, 2-2, as you go into district play, which starts next week, which is no easy task for either of these teams. A lot of ranked opponents on the schedule to round things out in this 2015 regular season.
Yeah, you're just absolutely on point there. These districts for these two teams are going to be very tough, and if Lakeview is able to come out of this with a victory with about just under 5 minutes to play and a nice lead, this could be a very big catalyst for them to be successful in the rest of the season. Wayne, a loss before districts can be kind of hard, but it may give them the fight they need to get back and win districts. And there's a beauty about high school football. You come out on top in districts, and no matter what your win-loss record is, you still get to go to state. So, not the end of the world that they're unable to pull this one out, but definitely a big helper if whatever team's able to win.
Completion there on the sideline, gain of 3. That went to McBride for Wayne, but Grant, talking about these districts, Wayne's in it right away next week. Number 3, Pierce. They host them. Pierce in action right now against SCOTUS. Up in Pierce, a very good match, 2 and 3 ranked teams. But then you have at Madison after Pierce, and then you have number 1 Norfolk Catholic if you're Wayne, and then you turn right around again and play Boone Central Newman Grove, who's number 9. All 3 powerful teams in their district. Also, Lakeview, though, has a tough district with number 6 Wahoo next on the schedule. Also down the line, number 5 Bishop Newman, and as always, ending out the season against SCOTUS, who's currently number 2 in Class C1.
And SCOTUS, it's pretty early in the season to say this now. We'll see how, we're not able to follow this Pierce-SCOTUS game. I'll be curious to see how that game finished out, but we do see a flag down on this play, and an interception. The second interception on the night by Chase Lemberg, who pulled one together right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. We'll see what this penalty is here as the ref run over to the Lakeview sideline.
I was going to say, Grant, I almost fell asleep. It was like the players thought the play was dead, and Bowers just sort of chucked it up like he didn't think it mattered. But so, okay, it did. It was a false start, but the penalties declined. Is that correct? So it is. It wasn't a dead play, essentially, which is what it seemed like Wayne felt it was.
Yeah, there was an interesting situation. It's unfortunate for this Wayne offense as they now are heading off the field, but nice job by Chase Lemberg to stay with the play and pull down his second interception of the night. And I think at about the exact same area he pulled down that first one at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Things not looking very good for Wayne, but things looking great for Lakeview, who's sitting on Wayne's half of the field with 4 minutes to play in a 15-point lead and doing a great job so far of running the ball.
You got to imagine they'll be doing a lot of that the rest of the way with just over 4 minutes to go. Hand off to Trey Shanks, gets a gain of 1.
Yeah, look for Lakeview to just let this clock continue to tick down, and even if they aren't able to move forward there, they're going to try and make it difficult for Wayne to have any opportunity to come back. And at this point, unless Wayne can get a turnover, it doesn't look very promising. Crazier things have happened in the game of football.
That is true.
But I'm not sure that Wayne will have much of an opportunity to make something crazy like that happen.
3:26 and counting. 2nd and 10 from the 43 for the Vikings. Johnson runs the option, pitches it to Shanks, who doesn't really have anywhere to go, and goes out of bounds.
And no need, I think it was smart not to call the late hit there, because there was just kind of a trip up there at the end as Shanks fell down next to number 19, Colby Kaiser. Third and 10 for these Lakeview Vikings.
So now 3rd and 11, 3:20 to go. And pounding up the middle is Dylan Johnson. Spin move still shimmies his way near the 25-yard line.
Dylan Johnson running very hard there as he sneaks right up the middle. A little end-around type action with the quarterback, and fantastic job getting upfield, following his blockers and just breaking loose. We've seen him do this all game, but he just breaks tackles and moves forward, and another first down.
Now under 3 minutes to play, 2:50. Handoff again to Shanks. He'll get a couple.
Nice job by the Wayne defense there to get a stop, and we're looking at about a 2nd and 10 there. The linebackers did a great job of filling in, stopping Shanks.
Shanks again with it, pops out to the left side and gets near the 20.
You see number 7, Ryan Jackson, getting in there on the tackle alongside number 22, Jorge Vergara.
Nearing the 2-minute mark. 3rd and 6. Johnson.
Typically in a
Only
empty
back.
back set, we've seen kind of some of those short out routes, or essentially some short hook routes.
Roth coming across. Fakes the handoff. Johnson's going to roll out. He's going to keep it himself. He cuts it inside and gets near the 5-yard line. Just like that, it was a nifty little move. He almost put the defender to sleep and then hit him with a bam.
Yeah, and Fultz was that downfield receiver right there, kind of running that direct out. Wasn't much of an out route. It was they call it an arrow route, where he just runs to about a 5-yard point on the sidelines. But he was covered up pretty well, and Johnson decided to take it for himself. And nice decision, obviously, as they work at 1st and goal.
$150 now. 1st and 9, goal to go. And off to Shanks. He's going to get near the 5. The instant replays tonight, like to remind you, they're brought to you by Bill's Tire Outlet in Columbus. Whether you need a lawnmower tire or a combine tire, they have them all.
Can't argue with Bill's Tire. They do good work.
You just can't. 122 and counting. Officials timeout taken as a Blue Devil player walks off the field. Victory formation for the Vikings. We're just under a minute to play, and they're just going to kneel things here. Dylan Johnson takes it. Maybe going to have to do one more of those. And there's another kneel, and that is going to do things here.
That's the game.
So Lakeview, 2 wins in a row, taking down Wayne and get back to 500 on homecoming night. Not a bad way to do things here. 36-21 is the final score. Wayne Blue Devils drop to a 1-3. Something we always like to do is have a Columbus Community Hospital Player of the Game. You will find out who he is shortly. Grant's currently in the process of wrangling them up. Great win, though, by Coach Kurt Frenzen and the Lakeview Vikings before they go on to travel to Wahoo, currently number 6 in Class C1. And you see the Vikings happily jumping up and down. Coach Frenzen is fired up, and why shouldn't they be? After a great performance and a really big second half, which really propelled them to the victory. Fell down 7-0, were down by as much as 14-3. But they would only give up 7 more points after that score in the second quarter. Currently 36-21 victors in this one. And you can't be more happy if you're the Lakeview student body, the fans, and the team to get that win on homecoming night. With the win, the Vikings now have a 3-1 series lead against Wayne in this one.